Hello, it's your meme mom! So I woke up today and I kind of forgot that Met Gala happened. Like I remembered about it yesterday, but where's my phone? But then I was just like, sleepy, obviously. So I woke up today, I might as well make a video. Without further ado, this year I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, because I think most of the outfits were kind of really playing it safe, whereas the whole theme gave an opportunity for like really over-the-top outfits. It seems like they are just too concerned about looking good. Oh, sorry, are you bothered with my plug? Like, what am I gonna do? Stick a paper over it so you're not distracted? Damn it! So Rita Ora's gown kind of reminded me of like 30s, 40s fashions, mainly because of the accentuated shoulders and the fabric, but then the neckline is not really what it would be in 1940s. It's a little bit too deep and too revealing. It's not like 100% inspired, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna have to be looking really hard for some of these because like some of them are really obvious, but then other ones are just kind of really not out there. Lily Collins, her outfit is not really historically inspired or anything, but her hair looks really 1960s, like late 1960s, and I think Dua Lipa's hair looks pretty much the same also, so I figured out it must be some sort of a trend, which is pretty cool. Maybe it's a bit too long, but it looks very like Priscilla Presley. Lena Waithe, like I'm gonna butcher all these names, sorry guys, like try pronouncing my name first and then complain. Lena Waithe's outfit was very 1980s. The fact that it was a suit, the fact that it had 2 rows of gold buttons on it, the fact that the shoulders were like really out there, and the overall silhouette just screams 1980s to me. Crap, I'm gonna butcher his name. Janelle Monáe. Why do I not know how to pronounce her name? She's so famous. But damn it, she doesn't know how to pronounce mine. So her outfit was not really, the silhouette was not really something that I would say is historically inspired, though the skirt does look a bit like early 1960s evening gowns to me because the kind of like an egg type shape was really popular back then. What I kind of thought is similar to later 1960s is the color palette and the overall like geometrical shapes combined with black contour, if that makes any sense. It looks a bit like the Mondrian collection of Yves Saint Laurent in 1965. And I did not just read that off Wikipedia. So Cara Delevingne's outfit was not historically inspired at all. Like, when I say not historically inspired at all, I don't mean like none of these things existed in previous eras, but I mean like there wasn't a striking resemblance to a particular style. So her hairpiece reminded me of what Carmen Miranda was wearing in 1940s movies. Like the stereotypical Brazilian hairpiece with all of the fruits in it, because Cara Delevingne's hairpiece has bananas in it. And that's how I made this brilliant connection. Dakota Johnson's dress, I was kind of trying to figure out what it reminds me of because it doesn't really look 19th century, but it does look 19th century art. So what I thought it looks like is pre-Raphaelite dresses, the ones they had painted in the paintings, because of the huge sleeves, because of like the really high neckline. Color maybe is not really there, but also it kind of is. Zendaya, obviously it does look a bit 1950s because she was going for a Cinderella look, and that was 1950. Was it? Yeah. Okay, so obviously it kind of looks similar. Great summarization of Zendaya's outfit. Ezra Miller's outfit to me looks 1930s, and I'm gonna be saying this a lot in this video because I feel like this year there was a lot of 1930s inspiration, mainly because of the hair, but also because of the fact that 1930s was a time where they played a lot with male fashion and female fashion, and they were mixing those. Julia Garner, oh, I know which one that was. So I thought it kind of looks like Hedy Lamarr's dress, and even the pose is similar to what Hedy is doing in the movie. Even the, headpiece, it just kind of all, it seems similar except Hedy's dress. Oh, what color was it? Because the film was black and white. I kind of always imagined it like silvery white, but now I'm not so sure. Kendall Jenner, at first I was like, nah, Doesn't look like anything really, but then I thought maybe it does look a bit like 1930s dresses where they used a lot of like tulle and light sheer fabric. Jennifer Lopez's outfit didn't really scream like historical to me, but the headpiece though did, because it did remind me of 1920s headpieces. Emma Stone, it was a very 1980s look, I would say. The suit, the silhouette of the suit, and also the hair pulled to one side, it did seem a little bit 80s inspired, though not completely. Violet Chachki, to me, I think she channeled Rita Hayworth's look in Gilda, because that's 100% what happened there, except Rita was not wearing a glove, and I'm absolutely in love with this outfit. How come I never came out with this before? Also kind of reminds me of Elsa Schiaparelli's designs in 1930s, like the surreal sort of designs that take everyday... What is wrong with this neckline, damn it? That took everyday like things or pieces of wardrobe and used it as different pieces of wardrobe. For example, you had a high heel shoe hat. So this is kind of a similar concept. Gwyneth Paltrow's dress, for some reason, just the neckline and the fact that it was really like gathered, it reminded me of 15th century partlets that you would wear underneath the main garment. It's really far-fetched, but I feel like there is something there. Lily Reinhardt's dress reminded me a lot of the one that Lady Gaga was wearing. Was it the Oscars or the Golden Globes? I think Golden Globes, because of the collar and the sleeves basically. But it did look 1830s. The sleeves and the fact that they were off-shoulder and they were huge. But then the skirt obviously does not look 1830s. Hari Neff's dress, I was like looking at it and I was like trying to figure out what it is. And I think it might, if you made the dress in white, it would look a lot more Edwardian, but just the fact that it's a sheer like delicate fabric and it's bright yellow, because don't get me wrong, they had bright yellow dresses in Edwardian era, but just it would probably not be a sheer fabric. So I think if it was white and if it didn't have the huge it would look a lot more Edwardian. Sophie Hunter's dress was one of the dresses I've seen and I was like, there you go, historical inspiration right there. First, I saw the sleeves and I was like, 1830s, but then I was like, oh, I forgot. Artistic dresses in mid-19th century. Those were also worn by the ladies from the Pre-Raphaelite sort of like artistic circle. And they basically were like gathered at the waist, really full with huge sleeves and a high neckline. Luans Dress, like the silhouette is not Victorian at all, obviously, but what came to my mind was like 1850s fashions, mainly because they had this trend of wearing plaid dresses with some fringy decoration, and to me that always kind of looked like a blanket slash carpet, and that is sort of what her dress is doing too. Like she's just wrapped in this plaid fabric with some fringy decoration. Huma Abedin, damn it. Ryan Murphy's cape looks a lot like 1890s capes with those huge Dracula-like collars. And I like it. It would probably be darker in 1890s. I absolutely love this type of cape and I wish I could just go and attend Met Gala to wear it, because like where am I supposed to wear it? I was trying to find Aquafina's outfit because I needed to remember what she was wearing, and I almost typed Aquafina Met Gala 1930s because I thought her dress looks 1930s. A lot. The frilly sleeves are what make it to me. And also the tiered skirt. Maybe the fabric would not really work for 1930s, like as a regular evening wear, but it would totally work as a film, like as a movie costume. Celine Dion's outfit, the headpiece and the whole thing, to me looked a lot like the Damn it, how do you pronounce it? It looks a lot like those reviews in 1920s and 30s where you had a lot of dancers dressed in elaborate fringy gowns, and then you would also have those huge headpieces. Like Ziegfeld Follies, was it? The series of the theatricals that they made. Regina Hall's dress, I'm gonna say it's Tudor inspired, even though the silhouette is clearly not. So don't quote me on that, but I think the reason I thought that was because of the fabric that was used on the skirt combined with the huge like bead brooch. Because it reminded me of like Elizabethan fashion, where you had basically a lot of heavy embroidered fabrics combined with animal symbols. Billy Porter's, maybe not outfit, but just the whole arrival. It seemed to me like I was watching a 1920s Egyptian revival movie. Just how like ceremonial that was, and all of the gold dripping and the headpiece as well. It was kind of connected, even though it was not, because the whole outfit obviously does not have a lot to do with 1920s or 30s fashion. Serena Williams gown, like the patterns on it and the fact that it has a train and the overall silhouette. Does it have a train? I can't remember. And also the huge sleeves. I think the silhouette in general is really similar to 1890s skirt gowns. You would have puffy sleeves, you would have a cinched waist and a train, and the skirt looks kind of similar, or is it narrow? Okay, the skirt, I kind of confused the skirt with the train. I thought that's like one piece. Okay, I'm gonna pronounce this name as it should be pronounced, okay? So Elizabeth Dembicki, but basically her dress, to me, looks like it was just taken straight out the Funny Face movie with Audrey Hepburn, because that's where she's wearing a lot of like structured haute couture dresses, because she's supposed to be a model in the movie, but also there's this whole musical number about wearing pink. It's like two of those things combined. Alicia Keys is one of my favorite outfits, obviously because it looks like 1940s. The fabric, the hood, and even her hair looked like it was a 1940s movie costume. Michael Urie? His outfit reminded me of this picture I know from 1930s where it's a woman dressed in like half men's clothing and half women's clothing. I think it was like a typical vaudeville number from the era. So again, it's like this mixing of styles in 1930s. So these are all the historical inspiration I kind of found in this year's Met Gala outfits. I'm kind of hoping next year is gonna be a little bit more daring, because this year, honestly, I'm not impressed. Like, there was a little bit of fantasy, there were some good outfits that I didn't mention here because they didn't really draw historical inspiration from anywhere, but still I feel like people were just too afraid to go over the top. Like, just let me do it, please. Let me know if I missed any of the historical inspiration that you found in this year's outfits, and see you next time.